So it's like 4 o'clock in the morning, and we're getting ready to go push some snow. I don't know how much is out there. I haven't even really looked. So anyway, got a couple things to do, like make some coffee here. I don't normally drink coffee in the mornings, but at 4 o'clock in the morning, I think I will. So since my wife has been teaching virtually, she's been keeping a fire going. So I was going to throw a stick or two of wood in here. Wow. It's hot. It ought to keep it going until she gets up. Alright, so it's still snowing. Well, according to my truck there, I only got about a 3/4 of an inch on my truck. So that's not much. I guess you hate it when you open the door and fill your seat full of snow. Where's my key? Crank. Music off. Defrost on. Cummins cranks pretty good in the cold. It's 25 degrees this morning. I got a snow scraper here somewhere. I didn't put the cardboard on my truck last night. Forgot. It's not froze very tight. It looks more like an inch on the windshield. Snowing pretty good, though. I think what I'm gonna do is get the tractor going, and then I'll pull it out and pull my truck in the shed. That way it won't get covered up with snow. And when I'm ready to go home, I can just get in it and go. Let there be light. So there's more snow than I thought. It must have not been getting on my truck good. There at the house where it was parked up close to the garage, there's about 2.5 to 3 inches there at the shed. I'm on 58 right now, which is the main 4-lane, and it ain't been pushed much. It's pretty well covered. But this isn't the road I'm supposed to push, so I'm going up here and hit, well, I may just ride on out to the bypass. I mean, not the bypass, but then it's too early in the morning. I'll ride out to 58 Business and check it, and then go down Squirrel Spur, which is one of the main roads that I need to keep open. Right now, I don't even know where the freaking road is. I'm gonna have to get on some defrost because the wind is fogging up. I don't know how much snow we're actually going to get. I've heard anything from nothing, which that's not the case, to 10 inches. So I mean, I've heard 3 to 5, 10, 5 to 8, just 1 to 3, everything you can think of between 0 and 10. I typically would go right there, but I'm not going to this time. I don't know if there's anybody out here helping me. Normally there is a VDOT truck running with me. But anyway, I'm going to go out here and hit hit the main 58 business, see if it's been hit. If not, I'll get in. Then I'll go out Squirrel Spur, out to the top of the mountain. And then when I come back, I'll probably go down to the bend. Just the normal routes that I normally do. Maybe just in a little bit different order here to begin with. It's starting to get warm in here. A little bit. Not really warm, but warmer. There goes the plow truck going the other way. Like 58 business has been touched, so well, yes, it's had one pass through, it looks like. Somebody's went down and back on it, so that's good. I'll probably just go on and go on out to bend. I mean, not to bend, but Squirrel Spur. This heated windshield wiper really did good on the last snow, and looks like it's doing good so far on this snow. I like it. A whole lot better than what I used to use and get ice all in it and it wasn't doing anything. I didn't have to beat my windshield wiper off one time last snow. Like it's going to quit at like 9 o'clock in the morning. So if it does that, it ain't going to amount to a whole lot. But who knows? It's done changed 3 times since I went to bed last night. Winter storm Orlena, I believe. That's what I see. If not, I'm sure y'all will correct me. Speed the wiper up. Got a lot of snow hitting me square in the face. Now we're getting ready to go under the parkway. Parkway Bridge. Before they built the bypass, you always had to drive your tractor and trailers through there. We had to haul our excavators through there and stuff, and the way that bridge is arched, I'm going to turn on Squirrel Spur here. The way that bridge is arched, you always had to get in the middle to make sure you had enough clearance for an excavator boom if you was hauling like a 325 or something, a big excavator. And of course we don't have to worry about that now with the bypass, but I remember used to when big trucks would come through here. It's tall enough to drive fit like a 13.6 box trailer under it with no problem, but you only have about 4 or 5 inches of clearance, so it looks really close. And I've seen a whole lot of truckers just creeping through there or completely stop trying to look and see if they had enough room to get under it. But I think they have the signs at 13.6 or 13.8 or something like that. And but it's actually a little bit taller than what it says. But wow, I can't see, and it's not because of the lights. It's just because of the snow. I just can't see good because there's so much snow. The light just blinds and glares back into the snow. I can't even tell where the road is, really. I mean, I've seen it snow a lot harder than this, but this is pretty hard. Pretty hard snow right here. It won't take long to get a lot of snow on the ground at this rate. Actually see better looking at the camera screen driving than I can actually looking, because the camera isn't picking up all the glare from the snow that I'm seeing. Somebody's pushed this. It's been a while, but somebody's pushed it. Looks like a grader's been out here, because it looks like a tractor cleat pattern, but as far as I know, I'm the only tractor. Well, there is one other guy that started with a tractor, so I don't know if it's him or not. I don't know where he's supposed to push at. But I'm pretty sure he would have came from Medicine. Nobody had pushed from Medicine to the Bent Road, which is where I first started seeing where they pushed. So I don't know who it is or where they came from. Open my blade up a little more. I don't have that left wing out. We're gonna get a big swipe. It's a little bit slick, geez. Every time I let off, my rear end comes around a little bit going down this hill. So I am running the 2-wheel drive. Believe it or not, it actually steers a little bit better in 2-wheel drive than it does in 4-wheel drive. You have a little more control over it, but when you start up a steep hill or something, you definitely don't go as good. So I'll click it in 4-wheel drive at times, but typically when I'm just driving like this, going down this hill or on flat ground, I'll leave it in 2-wheel drive and it steers a lot better. camera off for a little bit, and we'll check back with y'all in a little while. Alright, so I'm getting out here to where I'm going to turn around. We're at the top of the mountain. Now, when I say top of the mountain, it's not that we've been going up a mountain. It's I live on top of a mountain, and I drove out this Squirrel Spur Road until I got to where you actually go down the mountain. And I don't plow down the mountain. I turn around right here at the top. Before I go down it, this is the first sharp curve as you start down the mountain. And this is where I'll turn around. Somebody from down in Ararat, I believe, because if you go down this mountain, you end up in Ararat. Somebody down there comes up the mountain and plows the mountain. Now, whoever was pushing right before I turned the camera off, I don't know who it was, but apparently it was probably just a private citizen out playing with their tractor, because it looked like they came out of the bent road because they had not been through Medicine, and they went out Squirrel Spur a ways, and then they turned around. I didn't see where they quit, but at some point they quit right after I turned the camera off, and apparently turned around and went back where they came from, because they hadn't pushed nowhere near all this road. So I guess they were just playing with their tractor blade or something. I have no idea, but that's all right. I got it open. Got a 16-foot wide or thereabouts path open on one side, and now I'm going back the other way. I sure do like how wide this blade is, because used to I would have to make 2 trips out this road. You know, I would have to go down and back, and then when I get back to Medicine, I'd have to turn around and go back immediately with my old blade, because it was only 11 foot wide, and it wouldn't make a wide enough swath on both sides to be completely a completely open road with it pushed back off the edges of the road. I'd have to go back and hit it again as soon as I got back. With this blade, when I open the wings up, I can make one pass down, one pass back to Medicine, and I've got the road well open and pushed back off the edges of the road. So it saves me a whole lot of time. I mean, it takes me like an hour and a half to drive all the way out here and back. So it takes that much time off, another hour and a half off of. It saves me that much time, because I don't have to make the trip twice immediately. You know, I'll wait till it snows enough that it needs to be run on again. So I can focus that time that I'm saving on other roads and get other roads open while I'm waiting on it to snow this back where it needs to be pushed again. So it's this blade is a huge time saver for me, because of the 16-foot width when I have the wings open. It makes a big difference. I'm doing as much good as a motor grader does with the front blade and a side shift with the belly blade going too. So it makes me a whole lot more efficient and productive. The only thing a motor grader has me beat on is when the snow gets extremely deep. The motor grader can push a lot more snow at one time, where they can put 4 sets or 2 sets of chains on the rear, and they have a little more weight, and they can do a little better in deeper snow. Now I can put chains on the front and do good in deeper snow. I can do pretty good, but just not as good as a grader. Now if I put chains on the rear and front, I could probably almost keep up with the grader as far as deep snow, but I don't have a set of rear chains to fit this tractor that I know of. We do have our set for the other tractor for the rear somewhere. It would be difficult to find them. But these things, they will push like crazy if you put chains on all 4 tires. But you reduce your ground speed tremendously when you do that. You have to go like 10, 12 miles an hour at the most. Where right now I'm running 18 and a half. Sometimes I'm running 20. Right there I'm running about, right there's 19 and a half miles an hour. And that's typically about what I run, max speed I run pushing snow is about 19, 20 miles an hour. Some people say, some people on here say that's too fast, but it's not really that fast. I mean, if you rode with me, you would see it's not that fast. The trucks that I run with, typically the trucks run a lot faster than I do. Maybe not on the back roads, they don't run faster than I do, but when you get out on open roads like a 4-lane road, I can't keep up with a truck plowing snow. I've tried it. They have to run a lot slower just so I can keep up with them. So I think I run about the right speed. I don't have any troubles typically, so I feel comfortable at this speed. The tractor feels comfortable at this speed. But anyway, that's just what I've been doing this for a long time, and it's what I'm comfortable with. Now, as far as the cutting edge on the blade, I was running a cutting edge from HLA. We ordered this blade with the carbide cutting edge from HLA, and they don't put enough carbide in it really. It like has carbide here and there. It don't have carbide on in the whole blade. So what I had to do was get a carbide that we usually run on the VDOT blades, which is Virginia Department of Transportation. We had to get a carbide like they run. We had to make it fit this blade, and then we typically run another blade, or like a carbon steel, or just a regular steel that doesn't have carbide. We run that edge in front of the carbide blade, and that kind of protects the carbide. And it lasts hundreds of hours instead of, I think the last carbide I got from HLA lasted about 50 hours or something. And that just ain't, I mean, I can do that in one big snowstorm, easy. And the cutting edge will be wore out, whereas all these VDOT blades could run and run and run. So I just went ahead and changed it over to a VDOT style cutting edge, cutting edge for the blade, and the wear has dramatically reduced, and I don't have to change the blade there often, the cutting edge here is often. Now as for the wings, I'm still running the HLA carbide wing cutting edges. They're different. VDOT don't, or the blades that we bought from VDOT don't fit the wings. They have to float up and down. they're still the HLA. But my theory on that is where they float, as long as the main part of the blade isn't wearing out and it stays up off the ground, the floating cutting edge can't wear but so much, because once they wear to where they're just barely touching the ground, they're going to stop wearing because the rest of the blade is holding them off the ground. And they may not make as good a contact, but they should, the wear should stop, reduce, it should reduce the wear on them once they get wore down even with the main cutting edge. The way they come, they're longer than the main cutting edge, and then when you set them down, they have springs that actually push them down out of the wings, and you know, so they're a little bit longer than the main cutting edge. On the main part of the blade, they stick down further. When you set it down on the ground, then you know the pressure from the ground pushes them back up in the wing. I'll have to show y'all so you get a visual of what I'm talking about. But once they wear so far, they're going to be even with the main cutting edge, and then the wear should stop, and then it should wear down as the main cutting edge wear down. It's my theory. And so far, they've lasted a lot better than the HLA main cutting edge. So that's what we did as far as the cutting edge goes, so it'll last. We had to modify it a little bit. I think we had to cut some holes either in the blade bowl board or the cutting edge itself. I can't remember what we did when we put it on, but we made it work. Alright, I'll check back with y'all here in a little bit. I'm going to run all the way back to Meadows of Dan, and then we'll start down at the bend. Check that out.